guys, it's B. Welcome to Unify, or welcome back if you're returning. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope that you've been well and that this week has been treating you all good. If you're new here, my name is Brianna. I'm a psychic medium and tarot professional. I do collective readings for the month ahead, pick a card readings, and the occasional life update when I feel called to. If you'd like to support my channel, please give it a like and subscribe so that you can get notified when I upload new content. I'm also running a sale on my website. Want to remind you guys because it's about to end. It does end on the 30th. That sale is for 20% off of all readings. So that includes any tarot or channeled message reading that I offer, as well as intuitive illustration, which is where I tune into your energy and I use automatic drawing to illustrate what your energy looks like. And then that also includes a channeled message. So if that's something that interests you, you can find the link to my website as well as a discount code down in the description of this video. Anyway, for today's video, we are doing a forecast for the second half of 2024. So this will be a pick a card reading for you guys as well. I'm going to be using my Empyrean Oracle deck to pick 3 cards for you guys for you to choose from. As always, ooh, okay. God picked them for us. It's gonna shuffle and do a whole thing, but I guess not. But regardless, as always, just trust your intuition when it comes to the pile picking. Whatever card you are drawn to is the card that is right for you, or the pile that is right for you. And if you would like to pick with crystals, I also have crystals that I will be placing with each of these piles for you guys to choose from. So let's see what pile number 1 is. It's Portal. Pile number 2 is Flow. And pile number 3 is Endure. Okay. And if you prefer picking with crystals, let me go ahead and place those. For pile number 1, I have Moss Agate. For pile number 2, I have Dalmatian Jasper. And for pile number 3, I have Leopard Skin Jasper. So with that, I'm going to allow you guys a moment for you to pick your pile, and then I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 1. So you guys chose Portal and the Moss Agate. So, what to expect for the second half of 2024? I'm going to use my Angel Tarot deck, my Angel Oracle deck, and my Shamanic Healing Oracle for this reading today. So, Spirit, thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing only your pure and trustworthy energy to come through these cards today for this message. Let us see what pile number 1 can expect for the second half of 2024. I will say pile number 1, I am going to read from the book, but the Portal card is definitely giving a huge transition. Like you're walking through a portal, some sort of gateway into a new reality. I feel like a more stable reality. If you've been feeling pretty unstable or just feeling like, you know, ooh, okay, how many do I want for this? Let's do 6 cards. That just feels right. We're doing 6 months, right? Perfect, 2 more. Yeah, with the Moss Agate, that does have to do with the earth, being grounded, getting out in nature, which is definitely fitting for the summer and fall. You know, that's when more people are outside exploring. You know, there's lots to do outside, especially with, you know, the different events and holidays and that kind of stuff. It also has to do with confidence and health, communication. What else was it? Increased income, new love, just growth. So definitely, I feel like if those are some things that you've been wanting or missing in your physical reality, then over the next 6 months, you're going to be experiencing more of that. So let's get into your tarot cards. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So I think that definitely resonates with that. That's definitely like growth and nurturing and, just loving kindness, being grounded, definitely growing your money. I would say in really creative ways and balanced ways. Ooh, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Energy shifting. This is definitely a lot of affirmation. Ace of Cups, new ventures and things that are more true to who you are, what you want to experience, things that are emotionally fulfilling. Like the Star. Oh my goodness. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay. And then the Five of Cups. Interesting. This is already getting this is already cool just to start, guys. I love when, things just align in this way where what we're getting over here just kind of comes out fuller picture over here. That's always fun. So, like I was saying with the Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Star, this is all great energy. Again, coming out of a period with the Star where you've been feeling unstable, things have been rocky, kind of hard to maintain. Maybe you're really tired. Now you're finally entering a time where you can rest. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, and you're on the right path. So if you've been worried about that, if you're because things haven't really looked how you hope they would, or you're not really seeing as many results as you would like to regarding how much time and energy you're putting into making things better for yourself. I would say over the next 6 months, that's when you're going to start to see that. You have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune in the Rider-Waite Tarot. That is again a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. There's so much validation here, confirmation here overall, that you don't have to worry over the next 6 months. I definitely think with the Five of Cups and Seven of Swords coming out, or Five of Water, Seven of Air, there is the need to definitely plan. The Star says, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. I think this is just kind of reiterating that. Oh yeah, look, I didn't even see that yet. But plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, before timing. What I think this is saying to you guys is don't rush. Don't let what you see around you right now, as far as things, again, not looking outwardly how you would like them to, not necessarily seeing results. Don't make that, don't let that drive you. Don't let that cause you to rush into situations that you're not ready for. I think that's what the Seven of Swords card is saying. Is to really just think things through, really prioritize things, and go through that, make a plan and go through your plan, and don't let, shakeups that are happening around you, knock you off course and cause you to, take, impulsive action toward anything, because the feeling is that you aren't, it's going to happen in the time that it's supposed to happen regardless. And if you try to rush, I just feel there's this sense of just being disappointed because maybe a mistake was made or something was overlooked. It says more going on than meets the eye. And so you have to go back and repeat work. So it's even if you try to rush, Spirit's going to make it so that it's still going to happen in the time it's meant to happen, regardless. You might as well take your time, go about it in a balanced way. And just follow a plan and not stress yourself out. There's no point in stressing out or feeling like anything has to happen right now. It's going to happen when it's supposed to. So I would say really envision that. and plan out what you want to be experiencing or what you want to create, and then kind of work it backwards and like take just slow, consistent steps. There's no need to rush here. Also, with like the star saying make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, and this Five of Cups coming out where it's like things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilled milk, and we don't like that. So it's like, again, I think this is also reiterating that don't rush, because you might end up making mistakes and having to go back. You could avoid all of that. I think also too, like if something doesn't go the way that you had hoped because of whatever reason, whether you rushed or not, but if it doesn't go the way that you had hoped in that moment, don't let that get you down or change your vibration or your vision too much. Don't let like one failure, one mistake change your course entirely. If you've already planned something out and you want to accomplish it, just because it doesn't work out maybe the first time or in time that you want it to, that's okay. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it stop you, is the feeling. Just focus on the positive and focus on your long-term plans. And that's not like toxic positivity. Like definitely acknowledge and address your emotions, like whatever they are. But when it comes to goals, just like if you were wanting to lose weight or something like that, or build muscle, you're not going to be like, oh, I worked out for an hour one day and I don't see results, so I quit. This isn't the thing for me. It's like you have to be consistent. You have to continue to show up. You have to make a plan. Like, like if you, I'm just using weight because it's like so like, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. But say you want to lose like 20 pounds and like you calculate out how long that's going to take. At least, just keep working toward it. It's not something that, again, the feeling is definitely patience. I just feel like this is like, I feel like Spirit is really just saying, take your time. I kind of lost my train of thought there on that example with the workout, but it's like, take your time is the overall message here. And I think that Spirit is like putting you in a place where you can finally do that. Like, even if it's just like a little bit of stability, maybe like everything that you're hoping and wishing for is not going to come instantly. And that's okay. We have the earth energy that is slow. 7 is slow. I feel like enough stability is going to come in for you to be able to focus on the things that you want to focus on without having to stress about creating stability at the same time. It's like, I'll just use myself as an example. I just recently got a part-time job. And of course, I still have my small business and I'm doing readings and all of that. But now, because I have that little bit of stability where I know, okay, like there is this consistent income coming in, I can now leisurely and, lovingly fall back into my work and not feel pressure to produce and to create, sales or anything. Like I'm able to just have fun with my work again and not be stressing about all these other factors of life, because I've taken on, a low stress, what totally works for me, part-time job. And it's just like that, like it'll be different for everybody, but like if it's not all that you want, in an instant, it'll be enough for you to, continue forward on your journey in the way that you want to, without being like too exhausting or, again, we have the star here. That's so much balance of your energy. I feel like really taking care of yourself. We have this feminine energy on both sides of this with the star and the Queen of Pentacles. So definitely like, I would say too, like, there's more time, like I talked about getting out in nature with the moss agate, with both of those energies, like, getting outside, getting back in touch with nature and grounding. I would say working with nature too, like, and that can look different. That can look, so many ways. But like if you're into gardening or you want to grow your own food, you could start small, like an herb garden, a few plants in your kitchen or whatever. Or, a garden out in your backyard or your front yard, or just visiting a garden, gardens all over. But I just definitely feel like, getting back out in nature, going on hikes or walks, going to the beach if you have access to a beach. But just that kind of thing is going to be really good over the next 6 months. Just really balancing your time and energy. And I think that's some of the beauty too of having even that like little bit of stability brought back into a situation where it felt very unstable, is like now you can do, like I said before, like all these things without having the stress of like, I'm not producing, or I'm not, I haven't reached this goal yet. Like, how dare I relax? How dare I sleep? How dare I take care of myself? Like we're moving out of that energy into, again, being able to really nurture and love yourself again, and start to see the results of your hard work like pay off. I really feel like too, when it comes to, I feel like the more you take your time and work through this energy, like just like consistently, the faster it's gonna go. I'm getting like, I initially got the impression like, okay, part-time job wise, or whatever you have to do to like make your life work wise, if it's something that you don't want to do, like that specifically, or even if it's something that you like kind of enjoy, like whatever it is, I do feel like it's very temporary, but I feel like it also depends on how you approach the situation, pile number one. So if you are rushing, like this Seven of Swords, if you are getting like caught up in the things that aren't working, like the Five of Cups, then it's going to take longer for this wheel to like turn. Like it's going to be like, like there's going to be kinks in it, is the feeling. But I feel like as long as you're just like taking it slow, and I think above all, taking care of yourself, pile number one, this is going to actually like happen pretty fast. I don't feel like you're going to have to be in this place for long. And I feel like you've just been kind of like gifted a little bit of stability or whatever so that you can continue forward. And like every time you think it's going to run out, you're going to be gifted more stability so that you can keep moving forward. But again, like I feel like there is the opportunity for this to move forward pretty quickly with this. The situation suddenly moves forward and fortune's on your side. Like I'm just getting, again, to don't give up, don't get distracted, keep trucking, but take care of yourself. Like make sure you're getting adequate rest. That's something that I've definitely been pushed to prioritize lately, like, unintentionally, because I definitely am the kind of person where it's like, all of this resonates with me, where I'm like, I have so many different ideas of so many different things that I want to do. And not all of it is planned, like, let's be honest. And so I'm like about to fall asleep, and then like, boom, I start getting ideas, or I start being like, oh my gosh, this is when I should do this, of course, because I'm like falling into alpha theta state, and spirit's like, oh, I'm here are your ideas. And then it's like I'm struck awake. And and then I go into my next day too tired to execute any of the wonderful things that came to me. And so I feel like really prioritizing getting rest is important during this time. That's that star energy. I mean, it is happy times and wish fulfillment and all that, but it's also, to me, it's rest. So I think that's something that definitely needs to be taken seriously, you guys. Don't burn yourself out, because the feeling is you do have a lot to do. It doesn't have to be rushed, but you still have a lot to do, and you need energy to do it. And you're not going to be able to accomplish all these beautiful, wonderful things that your soul incarnated here to do unless you're taking care of yourself. Okay, so that's very, very important. Yeah, I would say too, guys, for pile number one, just I feel like health-wise, health is good. I would say just be mindful. Again, like carrying balance into every area of your life is just really important. So making sure that you're eating, eating well, you're drinking plenty of water, you're eating whole foods, things that come from the earth, like getting a lot of fruit and vegetables and vitamins and minerals to keep everything functioning and flowing the way that it's supposed to, so that you can think straight, and again, so you have energy to do all the things that you want to do. I think that's really important. So Spirit wanted that to be known for you guys. Pile number one is to just definitely carry out a balanced lifestyle, regardless of what it is that you are working with, to the best of your ability moving into the next 6 months. So I have my Angel Oracle deck here, but part of me is like, I feel like I should read this portal card first. Spirit is telling me to read that. I want to see exactly what it means. And this book is so, like, I love it. This deck is so beautiful, and the book is really cool. It comes with a song, so I'll show you guys the song that goes with this card. But at the same time, thank God the index is in alphabetical order, but as you can see, the cards are not in the book. The numbers are all over the place, so I can't just like flip right to it. It's just interesting. It's an interesting choice. Okay, portal. All right, guys, portal. It says your mind is a landscape that you get to travel. And when you pay attention, you quickly become aware of the things that make it feel like dredging along in a rugged terrain as opposed to walking through a meadow. We all have experienced the moments where we hear a song or smell a particular scent and we are transported to another time and place. In other words, we enter a portal. When we can learn to create these portals for ourselves, life becomes more enchanting. Often the problem is simply our willingness to take the first step. Every portal can be choices, feelings, conversations, music, or quite literally anything you decide. For someone who is wanting to be healthier, cooking themselves dinner is a portal to a new way of being. It's not simply the action, but the feelings that come along with it that can open up an entirely new experience. The portal asks you to open your eyes. View each moment as a portal to the next. Where can you go? Which one do you want to step through? Where channels are more often thought of, where channels are more often thought and feeling oriented. There we go. Where channels are more often thought and feeling oriented. Portals also include action. I'm sorry, guys. I hope this makes sense with me butchering it. Do not buy into any of the doubts you may be feeling. These old patterns are attempting to prevent you from growing. It's time to step boldly in the direction you want to go in. I love that. Yeah. Very cool. And then the song is Alternate World by Sunlux. I've never heard that song, but hey, go check it out. Maybe it'll have a further message for you guys. But I think that's really cool about the portal, and I love the way that they explain that basically every choice that you make moving forward in your life will determine where you end up. Every choice is a portal into a new experience, a new way of being. And I feel like that definitely aligns with what we have going on here as far as like, the examples I spoke of were, just choosing the more balanced approach, planning, resting, eating better, all of that, which eating better I mentioned in the description there. So yeah, I think this is just reaffirming that you guys have the power. Like, look at this Queen of Earth too. She's like a magician. She's like manifesting that money in front of her. So what choices could you be making differently, pile number one, to help align you with the reality that you want to actually be in? Because at the end of the day, like, let's say, okay, this is just like a random example, but let's say like you want to be on an island somewhere and you're just like manifesting it. but Spirit's not gonna like literally pick you up, or you're gonna close your eyes and you're gonna be on an island, you know, like clap your heels together and like you're in the Bahamas. It's not like, it doesn't work like that. You do have to take steps in the 3D, and then the opportunity to do the thing that you want to do will present itself, and then the two align. It's called co-creation, you know. And so what choices could you be making to help make your dreams come true and make them a reality for yourself? Again, like, write down the things that you want. Top 5, you know, keep it simple. And then work backwards to where you are now. And then walk forward through the steps that you just outlined. So let's see what the, ooh, look at this. It's up to you. Tell me that doesn't look like Leighton Meester from the OG Gossip Girl. I swear, every time I see this, I'm like, what? What was her name on this show? Blair. That's Blair Waldorf. You can't tell me otherwise. Anyway, it's up to you, guys. Whatever you want. This is, I feel like, further confirmation. Like, it's your choice at the end of the day. And again, like, don't sweat it if something does not work out the way that you hoped it would. Don't cry over spilled milk, metaphorically. You know, it's fine, because you can choose different next time. A lot of life is trial and error. That's how we learn. That's how we grow, you know? Like, sometimes you have to make mistakes to learn the best way to do things, or to invent or innovate a system or a product, you know? It's all filling needs and finding gaps in the economy, all that kind of stuff from a business perspective. So don't let it get you down. Let it be an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself in your life. Yeah, compromise. Look at this. Balance. I think Spirit's just like, you know, you already know, but here's some more cards to really hammer it in. Compromise. I feel like this is definitely just like weighing your options, choosing your battles, choosing like what's really important to you. And what like logically makes sense to do in any given moment. You know, you might want to stay up and work on a project, or you might want to travel, or you might want to do like all these different things, but like, does it make sense right now? What could you give up, or what could you start doing in order to make it make sense? Starting with rest. I just keep getting so much rest with this pile. And then we also have be assertive. I think so too. Okay, with this be assertive card, this is like not only having strength through this time for the next 6 months, pile number 1, but also not being afraid to ask for what you want in any given situation, or to go after it either. Just whatever that looks like. Asking, taking, whatever that looks like. I think you guys are definitely being called to really embody that energy. I don't think you have anything to lose. Nothing good anyway. I feel like, what just came? It came and went so quickly, but it's almost like I feel like there's gonna be regret if you don't take like action on certain things. If you don't just go for it. If you don't just take the risk, take the leap of faith on certain things. Of course, like, plan and all that stuff, but also this just came through too. Don't get stuck in the planning phase because of fear. I think that's also why this be assertive card is coming out. It's like you are capable and strong enough and wise enough to start on this journey. Don't feel like because you haven't had success yet, or because you can't physically see it yet, or because, you know, whatever whatever reasons you could fathom, don't let it stop you or make you think that like you're not worthy and that's why you haven't seen it. That's not the case here at all. I think now, just like with any alignment, like now certain things are finally ready for you. Sometimes it's not necessarily that you're not ready. Well, a lot of the cases it's a little bit of both, you know, like maybe there's some work that you need to do that you're not even aware of until you're presented with an opportunity to do that work. But then also on the other side, you know, the opportunity that you're reaching for is just simply not available in the time that you're reaching for it. And so it needs to become available. And in that time, Spirit gives you some homework so that when it comes, you're absolutely ready. Whether you necessarily feel like you're ready or not, you are. So I feel like being assertive and it's up to you and compromise. I love the way this like imagery just looks. There's a lot of feminine energy here as well too. We were talking about that when we were talking about the star and the queen of earth, just loving yourself, pouring back into yourself, prioritizing your time, really focusing on the things that you want to create and loving yourself through the process, not being in that masculine, like, I have to do this or else kind of energy, you know, like, that's not the case here. Like, gracefully flowing through this next chapter is what Spirit is calling you all to do. Pile number 1, like, choosing what's best for you, balancing where you put your time and your energy and your efforts, and then being assertive and going after what you really want. I feel like it's going to land you right on target. This is such a good pile. And so I'm going to close today with a card from the Shamanic Healing deck. I really liked using this deck in my last pick a card reading. And so I decided to pull it back out for this one. So we have the struggle card, and it's showing, I guess it's a fish, but it also kind of looks like a whale swimming upstream. So right off the bat, I'm definitely getting like, ooh, yeah, to go with the flow. If you feel a lot of resistance, I think that's another thing that's coming out with all this feminine energy and all this blue. It's definitely giving watery vibes. We do have 2 cards that represent water. I feel like it's really, Spirit's really calling you to. That's part of why you need to be present and you need to be sleeping and you need to balance, is because you also need to be in a space where you can really hear Spirit trying to communicate with you, so you can listen to your intuition. That way you are choosing what's really aligned with you in these next 6 months, so that you can go with the flow. So you're not fighting, you know, going upstream, trying to reach something that's just not meant for you. You know, like when stuff's meant for us, it happens more easily. It flows right to us downstream. We just kind of have to stand there and hold our arms open. So with that, I'm going to read what this card says, but that's just what I pick up on intuitively. Let's see. Struggle. So, struggle. Struggle is a part of this life, so much so that you probably know people who seem to constantly attract one struggle after another into their lives. This is their comfort zone. While struggle is natural, it is natural only so far as it lends itself to learning lessons and overcoming interpersonal challenges. Beneath every one of the struggles is the gift of enlightenment, the satisfaction of a lesson learned. Use this knowledge as the light at the end of your dark tunnel. What lesson is this struggle teaching you? Alternatively, after a brief setback, the situation will start to right itself. So I feel like that's definitely aligned with this pile. Struggle only being natural as far as it lends itself to learning lessons and overcoming interpersonal challenges. Yeah. Being very aware of, again, like what Spirit is trying to say to you, like in any given situation, not letting any situation that appears to be a struggle get you down with that 5 of Cups or keep you stuck. Like, paying attention to what you can take from it, how you can spin it, you know, like I was talking about, like innovation. It's an opportunity to create positive change, to create something that maybe never existed before. Like maybe the struggle you're facing is a struggle that a lot of people face and could benefit from, you know, a solution to. And maybe you are the creator of that solution that just so happens to work for a ton of people. It's just like, oh, I can't remember her name, which is unfortunate, but the woman who created the 5-second rule. So simple, but so effective. And she's Mel Robbins, that's her name, the 5-second rule. Yeah, just counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then, you know, launching or taking action, go, you know, like doing the thing that you've been procrastinating on. And if you're not familiar with that book, I highly recommend it. Maybe pile number 1, maybe that's a book that you need to read. If you are struggling with staying stuck or, you know, repeating cycles or whatever, you know, if you're trying to break bad habits, that's a really good book. But you too could be the creator of something like that. It's not super complicated, you know, like counting backwards from 5. Wow, you know, but it's life-changing when you start to practice it, especially if you've been struggling with procrastination or letting go of addiction. In the case of, you know, Mel Robbins, in the beginning of her book, she talks about what led her to developing the 5-second rule. And so, yeah, I really do feel like Spirit is calling you to pay attention to that. Like, how can setbacks turn into blessings for you and put you back into flow? And I wouldn't spend, you know, indefinite time focusing on this, but for some of you, pile number 1, or maybe, you know, a lot of you or most of you, pile number 1, because this is, you know, all of you all's pile that you chose, but that could be the case in big or small ways. Again, it could just apply to you, something that you need to change in your life, or it could be something that's bigger, life-changing for many people. So definitely pay attention to that. Like, you know, just, again, just relax, go with the flow, don't be hard on yourself, and don't let hardship get you down or keep you stuck. And this also lastly says, alternatively, after a brief setback, the situation will start to right itself. So again, like even if you do get to a point where you're feeling stuck in a particular energy, Spirit is just letting you guys know that it's not going to last a long time. What's happening, what's going to last, and what's working its way into you all's energy, pile number 1, is peace and happiness and prosperity and balance, all those beautiful things. So that is your reading, pile number 1. I hope that it resonated. I hope that this next 6 months is beautiful. It looks like this is going to be a beautiful second half of 2024 for you guys. Again, just want to let you guys know I am running a sale on private readings. It's 20% off. The description, or the link to my website is in the description box, as well as the discount code. And if you liked this video, I would love it if you guys liked and subscribed to my channel. That's the easiest way to support me without, you know, paying for anything. Just clicking a couple buttons. So I would really appreciate that. And of course, if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, I would love to hear all about it in the comment section below. And with that, pile number 1, I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. You chose the Flow card as well as the Dalmatian Jasper. So let's go ahead and get into the energy of the next 6 months for you guys. I'm going to use my Angel Tarot to draw the first set of cards. We're going to get 6 cards from this deck to see what we can expect. I definitely get the energy though off of that Flow card, and I am going to read from the book, but the energy off of that Flow card is definitely giving a lot of confidence. There's a lion up here with wings. It's giving, which kind of angel is that? Is it a seraphim that has the 6 wings? I also want to look up, okay, I want to look this up really quick before I pull your cards. This four-leaf clover kind of shape that is behind the lion's head feels very significant. And I remember in a reading that I did probably last year, looking it up. Let me see, for quatrefoil, that's what it's called, quatrefoil. Okay. It's a symbol of good luck. Okay. Yes. I was like, this seems significant. So I'm going to work that into the reading. It just really popped out to me for some reason. But yeah, we have the lion with the wings behind his head. It looks like it's almost like a waterfall happening out of his mouth. But, oh, you guys can't see it, sorry. I feel like this is a time over the next 6 months, pile number 2, of you really speaking your truth. I feel like you guys are really being seen, recognized for your efforts. I feel like you're feeling very confident. If you were afraid of a lot of different things before, I feel like you're not afraid anymore. There's a lot of courage happening here, and that's helping you to flow. Whereas before you might have, stopped in your tracks a lot of times because you felt afraid or discouraged, or you just didn't want to use your voice to claim what was rightfully yours or the things that you wanted. But I feel like this next 6 months, we're moving away from that. You're definitely coming into your own in the second half of 2024, pile number 2. And luck is on your side. And then we also have this Dalmatian Jasper. Dalmatian Jasper has the energy of joy. It helps you to reconnect with your youthful nature. So that could be part of why you're feeling more just like confident and abundant and flowing more. You're just not caring as much, you're not overthinking as much. Again, you're reconnecting with your confidence and your inner child, especially. This helps with your energy to combat exhaustion, releases depression, helps with commitment. So commitment, I would say, to yourself and your goals. It also helps you to be more imaginative. So I really feel like this childlike energy, and that's helping you to be more lucky because you're not energetically blocking yourself from anything. And by blocking, it's not only are you not aligned in internally, but also you're just not taking action because you are feeling afraid or whatever. Let's see. Okay, so you have the 3 of I want to say swords, but 3 of air with this deck, Knight of water, the 6 of fire, the 6 of air. Wow. Okay, so 66 guys. Oh, and 33. Well, what are the odds that we got the 3 of swords, the 3 of wands, the 6 of swords, and the 6 of wands? So 33 and 66. There's definitely the energy of expansion here, balance here, definitely winning kind of energy, moving out of a difficult situation. Kind of look at the sun. That's that same energy as the lion, the sun. Yeah, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. We just talked about confidence of that lion. So very much confirmed here already with these tarot cards that have come out that that's the energy that spirit is saying you guys are likely to experience in the next 6 months is balance, winning, expansion, being in a flow state, being your truest, most authentic self that you've been thus far. Not only because you're setting yourself free from limitation, but also because you've learned. I feel like a lot of you have learned who you really are. Maybe you knew, to a certain extent, but because of the trials that you've had to work your way through, you have a deeper understanding of who you really are, what you're really capable of. And I feel like over the next 6 months, you're going to really see all of that, work that you've had to do on yourself paying off. And it's going to lead you to, I feel like not only trust yourself more, but to not be concerned with anybody else, what they think of you. It's just like, I don't know. But let me look at these more here. Three of Swords is definitely usually like heartbreak, difficult time, but there's clarity in that. We also have on this card, it says great sadness, but it also says take time to heal and the need to forgive yourself or others. And then we also have the Knight of Water. The need to balance emotions is standing out there for me. It also says falling in love or wedding proposals or an invitation to a social event. I feel like with the Knight of Water and the Three of Cups coming out first, and then I'll move into all these. This is like positive, and this is more like a little bit emotional, not too bad. Knight of Cups is actually a pretty good card, but I definitely think over the next 6 months, guys, just to start out right here is that could also be leading to your confidence, is like you going through like some sort of emotional work where you are working to forgive yourself and others, like this card here says, the Three of Swords. And I think because of that, because you've taken the time to face your feelings head on, maybe face some people that you never thought you were going to face again, have maybe some difficult conversations too. Swords definitely represent communication. I feel like that is also helping you to feel more confident. Maybe you've built the situation up in your head to be like something more than it needs to be when but now it's time to let it go. I don't want to say when anything, but maybe, the situation has gotten really big and it needs to just be closed out in order for you to really move forward and not have anything tying you back to your past that's kind of weighing you down, or just like, oh, I'm happy, but I wish this had gone differently, like none of that. I feel like Spirit's giving you the opportunity in the second half of the year to really close some chapters and some books entirely. And I think that's leading you into some really beautiful times with this Six of Fire and this Six of Air. Like the Six of Air says things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. And then the Six of Fire, this is a card of winning, victory, good news, it's on its way, and public recognition or awards. So I really think pile number 2 that aside from doing this bit of emotional work, which I also think is going to be great, I think that's part of why you're able to really move on and like really pour into yourself, is because you just don't have these like ties anymore to these negative feelings, these things that have been, again, like keeping you tied to the past or keeping you feeling like there's still something missing or there's still something lingering around that needs to be addressed. I feel like it's getting addressed. And you're going to start to like really win, because that energy that has been stuck and suppressed in you regarding these conversations that need to happen or these situations that need your attention is finally being cleared. And of course, we all know when we clear stuff out, we make room for the new and the better to come into our lives. And so you can really look forward to that pile number 2. This flow, like, I feel like, that's why you're feeling more confident after you're moving through this energy. You're finding clarity in a situation. I'm just noticing on the Knight of Water card, it says an invitation to a social event. This could be like something you didn't even really plan to do. Like maybe you get invited to a social event. Maybe you normally wouldn't go. Speaking on relationships, maybe you normally wouldn't go because there's going to be people there that you don't really want to see again, or you just don't vibe with, but then you decide to, and out of that comes some sort of clarity or peaceful resolution. It could be as simple, like you don't even necessarily have to talk to them, but it could be as simple as, being afraid to see this person again or to be in this situation again, and then you are, and you realize there's nothing to be afraid of. the person's afraid of you, or you know, they've moved on or whatever, you know, like there's some sort of release happening. I would say sooner than later. Being that those are like the first cards to come out, like I did choose 6 cards. It's not necessarily going like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as far as like the months, but it could be read like that in terms of time. So you can look forward to that, pile number 2, to finally healing some things that need to be healed, to finally being able to move forward into the things that you really want without feeling any guilt or shame or fear or anything like that, regarding your future. Yeah, being able to just flow, move forward, express yourself fully. There's nothing else holding you back. You can be confident. You can fly free. With the 3 of Wands and the Sun, or 3 of Fire, yeah, look at this. You have victory, and the 6 of Fire, you have abundance, and the 3 of Fire. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. There are a few things here that are reminding me of pile number 1, guys. They did have the energy of flow. Like, there was so much. It wasn't necessarily like deliberate flow. Actually, in the final card I pulled, there was a deliberate message of flow. But outside of that, there was a lot of symbolic flowing kind of energy. And then they also had a card that said to make long-term plans. So if you're drawn to pile number 1, that's your sign to go check that one out too, if you feel called, of course. No pressure. But I just wanted to point that out. There was a synchronicity there. But I definitely think you guys also have a lot to look forward to. I feel like collectively, like, it seems like the trend is closing old doors. Pile number 1 was like different from this one, but you know, that symbology and that energy of closing old doors in whatever way they need to be closed, and being able to move forward into a time of peace and prosperity and balance, and growth, expansion with the 3s. It's expansive energy that's being supported by the universe kind of energy. So I think you guys are being set free in the next couple of months here. You're being set free from a situation that's been kind of lingering in the background, and then you're moving on into this prosperous time in your life where you're able to just be your fullest self, and luck is on your side. It's like all the things that you invest into, all the things that you want for yourself, they are becoming more possible, and they're like within reach, you know, like as long as you of course take action to move toward them and to align yourself with these things, then you will see results, is the feeling here. Yeah, the Sun says happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, and have confidence in yourself. I feel like I read that earlier, but I wanted to reiterate that. Definitely like just confident, abundant time, wish fulfillment, and transformation of who you are. Like, even if you've transformed a lot up until now, like having this, whatever this is, settled is going to help create even further transformation. And again, like that confidence and courage that you have now that you realize, like, I feel like too, okay, I know every time I start to talk about this card, like I get cut off with another like sidebar, but it's like, I feel like too, part of the reason that you may be perceiving that the situation is going to go one way is because last time it did. But you have to bear in mind that the last time you encountered this particular situation, whatever this is over here, you are not the person you are right now. Spirit really wants you to know that you are not the same person, so it's not going to be the same. Okay? And the other person, even if they've not grown as much as you, I think It's kind of funny, but I think with this energy here, I think the amount that you have grown scares the hell out of them. They've grown too. That's what I was gonna say. Even though they might not have grown as much as you, they've grown too, like in their own ways. But at the same time, I think the amount that you have grown is very intimidating, pile number 2. And I don't think if in this past situation you were perceived as somebody who was weak or somebody who was vulnerable and could be manipulated or harmed easily, like I don't think it's perceived that way anymore. I even get the feeling that there could have been situations in your life, like leading up to this, of course, like there was transmutation of energy. You had to clear out some things that were within your soul as an individual, and then like your soul, like as an ancestor of your bloodline and past lives and all that jazz. So you just had to do a lot of work, and it was exhausting and it was painful. But also, I feel like some of it, like as you maybe already moved away from this situation, could have been like energy manipulation from these parties. And because you've survived and because you've continued to thrive and move forward regardless of what has been thrown at you while you were kind of out of reach, that scares these people. I feel fear on somebody, not you, pile number 2, but there's fear on somebody who thought they were more powerful than they really are. And so, yeah, you can be confident. Luck is definitely on your side with this flow card. You can go into any situation and you can just be your fullest self and you will be accepted. By the people who matter, right? And so let's get a few oracle cards here. Let's see. Okay, we have remain positive. I'm gonna get these 2. Oh, yeah, okay. Further confirmation. Pile number 1 also got be assertive. So remain positive, be assertive, and look for a sign. So yeah, if you were drawn to pile number 1, that is your second sign to go check it out. Guys, I'm like so like particular about these cards being straight. Like, I don't know why. It really doesn't matter, but it also does a little bit. And so I'm like, I want them straight. Okay, good enough. Don't look at the camera, Brianna, because you're gonna be bothered. All right, I'm just gonna like cover my peripheral vision. So remain positive, guys. Like, again, like you have nothing to worry about in this situation. Like, you've transformed so much. The energy really does feel like you can do anything with the sun and this flow and the 6 of Wands and the 6 of Swords and the 3 of Wands, even the Knight of Cups, like that Knight energy of like protection and action of your suit, which is your emotions and your intuition, especially like your psychic ability, flowing energy, like just trusting yourself to the point where like no matter where you end up, like you're in the right place all the time. And I feel like we are most of the time, obviously. Like, you know, there's gonna be a lesson if you choose that for yourself, but like this is like the air of more like gifts versus lessons, you know, coming out as a result of your choices. And so like remain positive. Like I feel like you're definitely being gifted here with this bouquet of flowers that she has in her hands in this card. Be assertive definitely goes with this lion energy over here, the sun card energy. And the sun in the Rider-Waite, it's a naked baby on a white horse riding in the sun, like a field of sunflowers. And it's like having that sense of the same sense of freedom a baby has. They don't care. They don't know any better. They don't know shame or pain or guilt. You know, they're just free souls that haven't been corrupted by the world yet, you know. So they'd be happy to ride a horse naked through a field of sunflowers. They wouldn't even think twice about it. Just be like, hell yeah, this is awesome. Like, look, everybody's clapping for me. Everybody's looking at me. Like, I'm not even concerned. This is the best time of my life, you know? That's the kind of energy Spirit's trying to have you embrace. And I mentioned like that childlike energy at the beginning here, and then the child on the sun card, it's not on this card, but on the original sun card, there is a baby. So yeah, I feel like just be your fullest, most authentic self, be assertive. And it doesn't mean you have to be like, rude or, a tyrant. It doesn't have to be like your way or the highway or anything like that. But when it comes to the things that you want, you need your boundaries. You can let people know. And there's a way to say everything, people say all sorts of shit, but it's not always what you say, it's how you say it, right? And so it's just like having that balance as far as how you relay information. Know your audience, as they say in like public speaking or fucking anything creative. Know your audience, know who you're talking to before you open your mouth and just say something random that could potentially like make a situation go horrible. But also don't let it like hinder you. Don't change who you are, but just be aware, be tactful, but own your truth and look for a sign here. I know that's kind of like self-explanatory, like look for a sign, but I also feel like energy of something else trying to come through. I'm just trying to place it. I feel like when it comes to signs for you guys, pile number 2, like signs are going to be like boom in your face, obvious. I feel like if you are struggling to know, like maybe you're just starting to trust your intuition here, and that's why there's so much wand and air energy and less water, aside from the flow and the Knight of Water. Maybe Spirit is trying to help you to trust your intuition a little bit more here in the next 6 months. So you can expect that as well. Opportunities to trust your intuition. I think initially, if you're just starting out, like it's going to be really big and obvious and loud, like a bolt of lightning. And then over time, it'll become more subtle. It could be, lightning in your face, and then it could be, tuned down to whispers in your ear. That sounds creepy, but like for real. Spirit is like, I feel like when Spirit talks directly to me, it's very like, but like also very clear, very objective, and very like succinct, There's not a lot of emotion. There's no emotion in it really. Most of the time. Sometimes it's humorous because that's how I am, but when things are serious, it's just very objective, very straight to the point, but it's like a loud whisper. I don't know how to explain that better, but I think Spirit's really trying to help you to just get more comfortable in that area. And I think that's also why you're being given these opportunities to like flow, and you're entering this era of winning. It's so that you know that you were making the right choices. Maybe when you were making choices leading up until this point, like you really just did not know. Like you just did not trust. You did not necessarily have like the faith, and you knew that, and maybe you wished it was better, and you're like, damn, like maybe if I had more faith, I'd be seeing results. But no, like, oh my gosh, I know we're about to enter July, but like my last month ahead reading, this keeps coming up. Like the mustard seed card came out in I think the 3rd week, and like that was saying that the only bit of faith that you need is that of a mustard seed, which is like barely visible. It's very small. You just need a very small amount of faith in order to see results and receive help from Spirit, from the universe. And so I feel like, if you've been feeling that way, that's not the case at all, but it is time now to start to pay closer attention to the things that are happening around you spiritually. There's definitely, I'm feeling like the opportunity to like just practice more discernment. And I think that's why Spirit's trying to talk to you more like intuitively, like, so you really know like where to flow, you know what I mean? Like what really feels right and what really feels aligned. So I'm going to get a shamanic healing oracle card for you guys, and then we will close out this reading. Okay, we have divine timing. That is super cool. Okay. Let me lift it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Divine timing. Okay, so let's see, 30. Divine timing. How often do you feel that you want things in your life to change now? Not 2 years from now, not even 2 months, but right this instant. Seldom do we see the whole picture of why our lives are unfolding the way they are. We don't need to. What we need to do is surrender to the way things are right now. This doesn't mean to not take action when a situation is untenable. What it means is to let your life unfold before you so that you have access to all the information, all the lessons, and all the people you will need to go where you're headed. Divine timing is at work in this situation. Try not to fight it. Instead, go within during meditation and ask the questions you want answers to. Why not now? How can I best prepare myself? What lessons do I need to learn prior to the change I want to see? You will get answers. Ooh, pile number 2. That hit me. I don't know about you, but that shit was like a bolt of lightning, you know? Speaking of obvious signs, right? Like, okay. Anyway, let me calm down. That was really cool. And this line too about like, we don't need to know. What we need is to surrender to the way things are right now. Flow. Surrender. Be a naked baby on the back of a horse in the sunlight riding through a field of sunflowers. I don't know. But yeah, like, this is very cool, pile number 2. I'm happy for you guys. Yeah, let your life unfold before you so that you have access to all the information, all the lessons, and all the people you will need to go where you are headed. Yeah, everything happens for you. You just have to see it. Boom, look for a sign. You have to, like, understand. And that was another thing in pile number 1. I really think you guys are supposed to watch it. I'm sorry. I know I said, you know, if you want to, but Spirit's like, watch it. But, damn, what was it? Oh, okay, right. Things happening for you. Pile number 1 had that same message of paying attention to how a situation can be used to your benefit, even if it was not what you wanted for yourself, even if it was difficult. I mentioned in that pile, I don't want to like get all the way into it, but just being like creative and open-minded when it comes to like looking back at the things that you've experienced and how they unfolded, because there could be nuggets of gold there. Like, you never know what particular thing that you've gone through could be something that you're meant to create the solution for, to help other people or to transform just yourself. Maybe you don't share your, you know, your best trick and tip with the general public, but maybe you become somebody who shines and is seen. And because of that, you just simply inspire other people to do the work, to take the risk, to have the faith. So, wow, pile number 2. This is really fucking sweet. But that's your reading. I hope it resonated. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked this, please like the video and subscribe if you would like to keep up with the uploads that I make. It's the easiest way to support my channel. In addition to that, just another reminder that I do still have the 20% off summer sale going through the end of this month, so the next couple of days. And that will get you 20% off of any reading with me. So the coupon code for that and the link to my website are down in the description box. So I love you guys. Pile number 2. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I forgot to read what it says in the book for the flow card. And even though we got a lot of information, I still wanted to read it to you because, I just feel like there's some extra nuggets of wisdom in there for you. So page 61. This particular Oracle deck also comes with songs that go with each card. So I'm also going to show you guys the page so you can see the song after I'm done reading. Okay, so flow. It's now become a luxury to pick up the paintbrush only when you want to begin writing out of inspiration, to design when you feel like it, crunch numbers when you're feeling ready to tackle a puzzle. We live within the constraints of production, which has never been friendly to flow. Flow is magic. It's the siren song, rain after a long drought. It's the meteor flashing through the night sky. It's not meant to be caught, bought, sold, or manufactured into mushroom blends by Silicon Valley. Flow is alignment. It's feeling so in tune with what you're doing, whether that's talking to a person or working on a project that you're absolutely fully in the present. It's when we abandon the grit and discipline and deadlines that we can feel the heart. It's when we abandon the grit and discipline and the deadlines that we can feel the heartbeat of the moment. We can move with it and make it work with us. The medicine of flow is learning to embrace the practice of finding the friction and chipping away at it little by little rather than taking a sledgehammer to it, insisting it get done. It's deciding to walk forward with your heart open and tapping into the spirit of what you're working on, asking what it needs from you. And the song for flow is Young Lady by Kid Cudi. So definitely check that out, you guys. I wanted to make sure I read it for you because this book has a lot of really awesome descriptions for the cards. Of course, the addition of the song is pretty sweet. So definitely check out that song and see if it resonates for you. But yeah, thank you, pal number 2. Bye. Hey, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the card Indoor, and then you also chose the Leopard Skin Jasper. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. I'm going to use the Angel Oracle to pull the main cards for your reading. We're going to get 6 cards from this deck. The energy today has been incredible. So far, I'm really excited about the next 6 months for the collective. Okay, that one flew out. I think I'm supposed to take those 2. So hopefully that trend keeps going, and you guys is pile number 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's see what we have for you guys. Real quick before I get into these, I do want to just kind of see what I get off of the Endure card and the Leopard Skin Jasper. I do have a little description of that up, actually. Yeah, the Endure card, it's definitely giving kind of like all eyes on you kind of energy with this Endure card. Like, there's so many eyes here. There's an element of like judgment, criticism, focus. But it also feels like transformative. Like, there's been this consistent energy of like breaking free and moving into this new energy with today's readings. And so I still am, I'm definitely getting that off of this. Like, I feel like this is like maybe where you've been versus where you're going. Or maybe if it is where you're going, you're learning how to overcome this. Ooh, so the Leopard Skin Jasper, it aids in creativity and shamanic traveling, protection, safety. It sustains and supports you during times of stress, helps with healing and personal growth, to unify all aspects of your life. It's also for protection, strength, and vitality. I think that's really cool. And I feel like that also kind of goes with this Endure card here. The protection, strength, and vitality, especially if this is kind of symbolizing just a lot of people watching you. Maybe you're in the public eye, or maybe you're about to be in the public eye, and there's going to be a lot of opinions flowing around. I feel like this is a time where you're really getting to practice letting things kind of like roll off your back and keep it moving and focus on your health. 6 of Wands. Okay. 3 of Cups. Okay. A Hermit. 3 of Air. This is uncanny. These 3 cards are in pile number 2, so if you were drawn to pile number 2, then I suggest watching it. Then we also have the 9 of Fire and the 9 of Earth. So angel number wise, you have 33, you have 99. There's definitely some sort of expansion and some sort of ending. But of the yeah, look at this. I'm sorry, I got distracted, but don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. And I was talking about like protecting yourself from, you know, other people or people's opinions, that kind of thing. It's definitely coming out here. Very interesting. Okay, guys, let's get into it. 6 of Wands. So celebration, moving on. Both of these are celebration cards. I want to like kind of, you see both. So it's victory, good news is on its way, public recognition and or awards, and a celebration, a wedding, graduation, a birth announcement, the need to have more fun. Definitely feels like you are headed into an abundant and fun time. You also have the 9 of Pentacles, which is enjoying life, being able to kind of spoil yourself. It says successful self-employment. So if you're self-employed and right now things are kind of iffy, then over the next 6 months, you're going to be finding the stability that you've been working toward. And honestly, guys, I feel like that's why people are hating, you know, like there might be people who are in your circle that, or, you know, just around, might not be in your circle, that just want what you have. And because of that, they're trying to like maybe say you got to where you are in unethical ways, or they just don't know your whole story, or they hear your story, they think it's made up, or, you know, you did something to get here. You didn't just work hard and, you know, stay consistent, whatever. You know, people just make dumb shit up when they're just unhappy or jealous or whatever. But it could be some of that. It could be why this protection is coming out and this endure is coming out, because I do feel like you guys are headed into like very happy, abundant times. There could be coming up too, though, with the Hermit and the 3 of Wands or 3 of Swords right next to each other. Spending time spiritual teaching, self-discovery. What do you want to say specifically? I would say with this, like, there definitely is a need to, in some of these cases, like when it comes to this endure card, like some of these people you can just feel like, whatever, they're just a hater, let me like ignore them. But other people you might need to like address things with them, with the 3 of Air and the Hermit card. I'm saying that because like the 3 of Swords or 3 of Air is a card of, it does represent sadness, but it also represents like clarity through overcoming that sadness, you know, finally seeing the truth of a situation, It also represents forgiveness of self and others. But then if you look at the Hermit, which is a card of going within, doing spiritual work, all of that, his back is turned to the three of air. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that you might be like, I'm so happy right now, I'm just going to ignore it all. But some of it might actually need to be addressed. And I feel like with the Hermit card and that spiritual awakening energy, self-discovering, like finding the light within kind of energy of the Hermit, it's like you can handle these situations gracefully. The ones that need to be like handled, the ones that need a little bit of attention. And it's not going to be every single one. I don't think it's even going to be like majority. I feel like there's going to be a small select handful of conversations that need to be had, maybe with people who more personally, is the feeling. Especially with the three of air, I'd hope that if somebody you don't really know forms an opinion about you, you're not going to take it personally because they don't know you. But if somebody you thought you could trust forms a negative opinion about you or starts to try to spread rumors or just anything shady, just kind of creates distance and doesn't say why, and it's just because they're jealous and they can't stand to see you happy, but they, can't be honest about it or whatever, then you may just need to have a conversation and cut those ties, if need be. That way there's no energy just kind of lingering around in the background while you're trying to enjoy this success that's coming, because there's definitely success with the Three of Cups, Six of Wands, and Nine of Pentacles, or fire, water, and earth. There's definitely success. Not only have you done work inwardly, like in your soul and in your mind, but you've also been doing work here in the physical with this wands and earth energy, or I keep saying wands, this fire and earth energy. You've definitely been doing some real life hard work trying to make your life better. And so, you're going to start seeing the results of that. But I do, again, just get the feeling that not everybody's going to be happy. And that's okay. Not everybody is necessarily meant to come along on that journey with you. Like, not everybody gets a seat at the table, if you will. And sometimes that's not up to us, no matter how badly we would like them to at this moment. Sometimes when you get there, there's just not enough room. And it can't be created, because that person is just not aligned with your destiny. I actually just listened to another intuitive this morning who gave the example of like traveling down the highway and just taking different exits. It doesn't necessarily mean that either of you is a bad person, or that anyone did anything wrong. It's just sometimes situations naturally, with the expansion of the three, grow, apart. There's so much distance between the two energies that they just can no longer be physically together. And sometimes that's okay. And that might not necessarily even be forever, like it could just be one or either of you has a particular lesson that needs to be learned, and it's not possible for that to happen while you're in each other's lives. And so, just go into it, I think, with the Hermit, with that, in mind. Don't take it all personally. Sometimes the way people feel about you actually has nothing to do with you, and you just are the closest thing to some sort of unresolved trauma or whatever. I mean, you could have triggered somebody without even meaning to, or realizing it, or without even saying or doing anything directly to them, but again, you don't have control over these situations all the time, but don't take it personally. Rise above it and just try to create peace in the situation as much as you can. But other people, just ignore them. So you also have the Nine of Fire. This Nine of Fire is really standing out here. It says, don't give up, protect that which you've created, and have courage and believe in yourself. I think too, this is also giving like not so much people's negative opinions that they might say to your face over the next 6 months, but just not getting support from certain people. It's kind of going back to a little bit of what I said before, but like we're talking about successful self-employment here with the Nine of Pentacles or Nine of Earth right next to the Nine of Fire. So say you are self-employed, you have a business, but you know, and this is often the case just in general, but you know, you notice that your friends and family don't support you. They don't buy from you. They don't tell people about you. They just kind of like linger in the background. Maybe they watch all your stories. They watch all your videos, but they don't like, they don't comment, they don't share. They just are cyber stalking you. They're, what is the word for them? Monitoring spirits. Yeah. And like, maybe you thought like, oh, these people would support me. You know, they always said they would, or they always pretended like, you know, like they wanted me to live my best life. And now that I'm doing what I really love and what I want to do and trying to make money off of it, they're nowhere to be found. They're ghosts. Other when I see their views on my stuff, you know, like, again, don't take it personally. Sometimes you might just be triggering people because they wish they'd done it. And maybe what you're doing is so non-traditional that they are just like, how is this person successful doing that? I had this extremely practical idea that I never went for. And, you know, I probably could have done so well, but, you know, because they never went through with it and saw the success that they wanted or the freedom that they wanted with it. I mean, obviously, if you're self-employed, you know, you're working all the fucking time. But at the same time, you're also working when you want. It just kind of, you know, it's a little bit of give and take, but, or at least you're doing what you want most of the time too. But you know, that fact alone, which has nothing to do with you, the fact that they did not take action on the things that they wanted for themselves is enough for people to hate you sometimes or just not support you, you know? You know, it just is what it is. And so that's kind of the energy here. It's not giving like people just being like blatant assholes to your face. It's just giving like coming to the realization that as you see more and more success, again, just kind of growing away from people that you thought were going to come along or you thought supported you and could be a part of that success that you're coming into, but it's not the case here, pile number 3. I think that's why it's saying endure and don't give up, have courage, and believe in yourself. You got a lot of looky-loos over here. But with that said, like obviously with successful self-employment, like let's get back to the positive. Like you do have people supporting you. Again, just maybe not the people that you were hoping would or, you know, whatever that you would expect to because they claim to love you, blah, blah, blah. But there are people, your soul tribe, the people who see your value and want what you have to offer are definitely flowing in the next 6 months if you're not already seeing that, guys. Like I said, like successful self-employment, if you've been feeling like, you know, some sort of instability or you've been like, you know, you've been doing okay, but it's not enough to live on or it's just not quite the vision you had quite yet. You still have a little ways to go. Like you're moving closer and closer to this where maybe if you do have a job right now to help support and sustain your lifestyle, like maybe you get to quit in the next 6 months, you know, and you can just focus solely on your business. I definitely see that. But with that said too, with the Hermit energy, it's also leading me back to like right now, while you do have that stability, like not only is it a time to continue to focus on your goals, don't give up, and believe in yourself, it's also a time where you can like further your education around like your craft. So if you've been wanting to do that, if you've been wanting to like, you know, get deeper in touch with the things that you are creating or offering or planning for, Now is the time to explore that further with that Hermit card coming out. It says self-discovery and spiritual teaching. That's kind of leading me there. Yeah, pile number 3. Overall, really good energy. I'm sorry about, to relay that particular message, but I feel like you guys probably already feel this. If you are already self-employed or, you're already working on a dream, like you might notice people who you thought would support you questioning like how realistic your plans are, the possibility of making it happen. But like I always like to say, like, Spirit gives you the vision because you can accomplish it. Don't let people, ooh, yes, look at these fucking eyes. You can see the goal ahead. Just because other people can't see it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's not for them. The ideas that they have and ignore are for them. That was shady. But for real, like, don't let other people's limitations and fears be the deciding factor of whether or not you move toward a goal. That's what that 9 of Wands is saying. Don't give up. Especially not for anybody else. Okay, improving health, romance, and no from the Angel Oracle. So pile number 3, improving health. With this improving health, especially with it being over the 9 of Wands. Ooh, and the green in this no card. Some of you might be sick right now. I say that because obviously the improving health card here, but the original Rider-Waite-Smith 9 of Wands does show a person who is physically and sometimes mentally impaired due to how much they're taking on. Just a lot of hard work, just being burnt out. And of course that takes a toll on our physical body and our mental well-being when we're just doing so much to try to like stay above water. So I feel like in the next 6 months, you are getting the time you need to relax and to pour back into yourself. And because of that, your health is improving. There's some sort of DNA activation happening here too with the romance and improving health card. Like, I feel like you're coming into some sort of divine union. If your yin and yang energy have been out of balance, if you've been in kind of like that fight mode, I have to sustain this lifestyle, I have to create stability, that's very masculine energy. Whether you're a guy or girl, there's duality and you have both. Masculine energy is doing, it's taking action, it's being assertive, it's it's not creation because that's feminine, but I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know why, but the masculine energy is like, that assertive, like, I'm going to make it happen kind of energy. Whereas the feminine is, okay, I'm going to relax. I'm going to allow it to come to me. I'm going to flow. I'm going to manifest. I'm going to find creative solutions to this, where the masculine is more like, like logical, like, the left brain that's like more logic and reason, and the right that's more creativity. Drawing another blank, but it's that same kind of polarity, like in the yin and the yang and the right and left brain and all of that. So if you've been in that energy of the masculine where again you've been just doing, trying to think of like the most logical and best way to get out of a situation or into a better situation, in other words, you're going to be able to balance and to relax and to get back into the flow with this improving health and that romance. Like, ooh, yeah, I feel like for some of you, this could be a romantic partner if that's what you're looking for. this year, you know, if you're single and you're looking, or, you know, if you're not single and that's your thing, you know, poly, whatever, I don't judge. There could be romance coming in, but this is definitely feeling more like finding the romance in life, like in this time of relaxation and balance and all of that. Like you're finding ways to just like fall back in love with your life and yourself, and you're seeing new possibilities and potentials and everything. It's almost like looking at the world with brand new eyes. These eyes just keep coming back to haunt us, but yeah, I feel like this is just, I don't know, this beautiful, yeah, DNA activation. I see like not only being able to relax and fall back into your feminine, but with that relaxation and this Hermit card. And I feel like, oh yeah, there's just like your intuition is about to be on point, pile number 3. And I feel like that's going back to the eyes again. Like I feel like you're going to be able to see things like bigger picture, further ahead, more clearly. Everything is just improving as you move through this new chapter, this next 6 months. Not only because you're able to be more present and you're experiencing more joy and happiness, but also because of this like spiritual teachings and awakening of the Hermit. It's like you're gaining so much more insight about the world around you that is helping you to understand things at a deeper level than you did before. So also with the No card, going back to health, I feel like regarding your health, pile number 3, that's what this No card is pulling me towards. So if you have been sick and you're worried about it getting worse, the answer is no. But if it's not about your health and it's about anything else that you're worried about, especially since we talked about like, you know, like having to face certain people, maybe have certain conversations, maybe you're like, oh God, no. But it's not going to be the way that it seems with a No card coming out. That No in particular in this deck always means that there's something better. Like whatever you're imagining is just absolutely not going to happen. Something way better is going to happen instead. And so like don't be afraid to move forward. Like you can see these angels in this card. You can see more specifically like this woman praying. It's almost like her prayers being heard, and then there's, you know, angels in heaven in the background like co-creating, trying to make this wish come true, like in the heavens. And oftentimes that's the case, you know, even if it doesn't look like it, you know, here in the physical reality, in time, you know, things take time. Whatever it is that you're hoping for and is aligned with you is going to happen. So don't worry. I do still see, like with this green, I was talking about that earlier, that is the color of Archangel Raphael's Archangel of healing and repair, both like, you know, our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, and things in our physical reality too. Like, you know, like electronics and whatnot, you know, actual things. So I feel like you can look forward to things falling into place, your path being corrected if you're feeling like you're going in the wrong direction. I don't think we're ever going in the wrong direction. There's always, okay, to an extent. You can choose to go in the wrong direction, like let's be real. But you know, more often than not, we're on a path for a reason, in order to learn and grow and expand. So don't stress, pile number 3. Oh, before I get your last card, actually, I'll go ahead and pull it because that one just came out. Before I flip it over, let me read to you guys what the Endure card means in the Threads of Fate and Empyrean Tarot. Let's see. Endure is number 38. Every card today has been in the 30s. I think we have 32, 30, and now 38. So, endure. Keep going. Like a desert road that stretches on for miles, it may not seem like there is an ending in sight, but trust that there is. To endure is to take the next breath. To willingly turn the... sorry guys. To endure is to take the next breath. To willingly turn the other cheek. To resolutely accept. It's not about giving in. It's about getting back up each time, knowing it will happen again. We get stronger each time we stand. We are enduring this battle, knowing that we will win the next one. Look, Six of Wands is literally coming back from a battle that you've won. His face looks funky, but he won anyway. Anyway, like a warrior in training whose body is being put through brutal adversity so that they will be prepared. It's not glamorous, but there is magic in simply getting through, of moving toward the sun but not feeling its heat yet. Our ancestors all had a journey to traverse, the harsh landscapes that sprawled on endlessly, uncertain if their lifelines would be severed too soon. But still they endured. That same strength flows through your veins. Let it rise within you, and when you doubt it, think of them and keep going. And then for this deck, there's a song for every card. So the song for this one is Goodbye by Apparat and Soap and Skin. I've never heard of that in my life. But guys, if you like music, I suggest you go check it out. Might be really cool and relevant. But yeah, guys, just like that Nine of Wands says, don't give up. And what it said too about, like, you know, just like your ancestors had to, you know, continue on without knowing whether or not their bloodline was going to be cut off. I feel like that is your ancestors just making their presence known. Not just something to consider, but like it said, that same thing flows through you. Like, it is literal. That is flowing through you. And again, just like I said with this no card, like, the spirit realm, like, working to help create this beautiful reality for you. Just because you can't see it does not mean it's not happening. And I feel like too, with this like DNA activation, y'all might be able to see it in the next 6 months, literally. So let's see what the Shamanic Healing Oracle has to say. Oh, this is so pretty. I love like how they did the black background and like the pastel illustrations. Like, really look how pastels look on black. Anyway, grounding, number 36. Let's see what it says. And it has, so 4 seasons. Let's see. All right, grounding. As humans, our bodies are of the earth. It is a natural inclination when we experience uncomfortable emotions or energy to ground it out, much in the way a ground wire works with electrical current. However, with so much in our modern lives that causes us to be disconnected from Creator, we tend to gravitate toward false grounding. Overeating, smoking, drinking, and recreational drugs are common ways some try to ground. These items are of the earth, but they are not the earth. This is not a true grounding, and as such, it cannot sustain. It doesn't last. What ends up happening is that, as with most experiences that are false, we need more and more to achieve the same result. To truly ground and connect both to the earth and the Creator, practice consciously connecting your energy to the earth. You should not be getting your energy outside of yourself, but directly from the divine. This is achieved through meditation, energy work, and mindfulness. Find a way that works for you and practice it. By drawing this card, you are being asked to look at areas in your life where you may be employing false grounding as a coping mechanism. Very interesting, guys. So, exactly what that said, especially coming from like this energy we're talking about, don't give up, and there's a little bit of stress and all of that. Like, I think making sure that you are handling that stress in the healthiest way possible. Not giving your power away, your energy away to things like substances or bad habits, like this description in the book said for grounding. Making sure that you're just getting outside, getting in nature, going on walks, breathing fresh air, go to the beach if you can. Even at night sometimes too, like, okay, like say you can't get out during the day much. When you get home at night, go stand outside and like look up at the sky. I'm sorry if you can't see stars, that is unfortunate, but at the very least, just getting outside and just feeling like fresh air on your face, you know, like if you work a lot and you can't, like, you don't have a lot of time to do that, just 5 minutes a day, just tap back into source. Like I said, meditating as well. And what I mentioned up here too about like feeling your emotions, not ignoring the way that you feel, not suppressing the way that you feel or the things that you're going through with a false sense of security. There needs to be balance in all that you do. And this is not me saying like, you know, like any of things are necessarily bad, but like, you know, let's be honest, like really tune into yourself and ask yourself, why are you drinking? Why are you smoking? What are you trying to escape? Why are you addicted to watching TV or sleeping or, you know, whatever your thing is that you just do like in excess? Why? Like maybe you started it to, I don't know, bring balance at a time where you needed a little bit of a boost to just try to help you like get centered. And now it's become more of a codependency than a boost. Ask yourself why. Like, why you feel like you need something. Is it because you really need it? Are you trying to ignore something? Is it because everybody else around you has normalized it and you feel like you need to because they are? You know, it could be many things. But I think it's really important to be honest with ourselves when it comes to that, especially going through this. Like, you know, there's little stuff happening here. Pile number 3. I don't think it's anything bad at all. I think that this also has to do with this improving health too. Like, I think with that being said, I think you are finding a way to ground this DNA activation. I think there's a truth coming out. And you're finding healthy ways to move through it. You know, you're moving through it with greater awareness. And love, like self-love. I feel like certain things too, like when we really love and respect ourselves, we just don't accept for ourselves anymore. And maybe you do, like, to an extent. There might be a few, like, little outliers, of course. But, you know, like, I do feel that there are certain, you know, things where you're just like, okay, no, like, I'm better than this. Or I don't deserve to be treated this way, even if you're the one treating yourself bad, you know? Sometimes that's the case, and sometimes we don't even realize it. So, I don't know, that's all I got from that grounding card. But overall, pile number 3, you do have a lot to look forward to. Definitely winning, a lot of beautiful energy here, expansion, spiritual growth, divine union, successful self-employment. Just know who you are throughout this whole process. Get to know who you are throughout this whole process. What your values are, what your morals are, what you will and will not accept for yourself. And I think that this will all be successful as far as your communication goes, the things that you produce, the things that you accept or, you know, engage in, indulge in, whatever the case. I think that it's all going to be okay as long as you know who you are and you love yourself, you trust yourself, you respect yourself. Yeah. So pile number 3, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this resonated. I love you guys. If you liked this video, please like it. If you would like to receive notifications of my next uploads, go ahead and subscribe. I also want to remind you guys that I'm still doing that 20% off sale on my website for all private readings. So if you would like to take advantage of that, you can go ahead and go down to the description and check out the link to my website as well as the coupon code for that. It's only good for the next 48 hours. So get it while it lasts. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.